Generalization. In today's session, we will be discussing about generalization. What does it mean? Generalization is the relationship between a class, that is the superclass, and one or more variations of the class, that is the subclass. Generalization organizes classes by their similarities and differences, structuring the description of objects. The superclass holds common attributes, operations, and associations. The subclasses and specific attributes, operations, and associations. Each subclass is said to inherit the features of its superclass. So, what does it mean? So, generalization is the relationship between a class, that is the superclass, and one or more variations of the class, that is the subclass. So far, we have studied in our previous sessions that is superclass is the base class and subclass is the one which is derived from the superclass. And we also know that a subclass inherits the properties of its superclasses. So, here generalization is the concept which specifies the relationship between a superclass and the subclasses. It may be one subclass or more than one subclass. Then, what is generalization actually? What exactly done over here? So, refer the second point that generalization organizes classes by their similarities and differences, structuring the description of objects. It means that generalization means that the classes are organized based on the similarities and the differences between them. How they are organized? The classes are organized based on the similarities and the differences between them. Inherently, it describes the structure of the objects. So we know that superclass is the base class and the subclasses are derived from the superclasses. Since superclass is a base class, it holds the common attributes, common operations and associations. And subclass will not be having all the attributes. It inherits specific features from the superclass. So this concept we call it as the generalization. So generalization is nothing but it is the relationship between a class and one or more variations of the class. So it is that is generalization organizes the classes based on the similarities and the differences. You can observe in this diagram equipment is a base class, that is it is a super class, whereas pump class, heat exchanger class and tank class, these are all the subclasses. So coming to the next step, that is we call it this as the generalization line. So this is the first line of generalization, so this is the second line. So when it comes to the second line, pump is the super class for the centrifugal pump and diaphragm pump and plunger pump. So these are all the subclasses for the superclass pump. Similarly, it moves on to the next line. So for tank class, a tank is a superclass, whereas a spherical tank, a pressurized tank, and floating roof tank are the subclasses which inherits the features of its superclass, that is a tank class. So this we call it as the generalization. So this concept is known as a generalization. In our next class, we shall see what is meant by inheritance. Thank you.